What is going on, everyone? Steve O Supremo here, and I am just another game collector. And in today's video, we finally have some pickups to show off. I've been waiting for some stuff to get in the mail here and some other games to arrive in the mail that I ordered from East Starland. And we actually have a Facebook Marketplace deal here in the middle. So let's talk about it and go over it. The cards, really cool story behind those. But let's start over here to the left. We'll do with the card stuff last as we slide on over here. First thing we'll talk about here, though, is the stuff in the back. The GoldenEye 007 Player's Guide, the 64 copy of Glover, and the Atomic Purple controller. You know, in my neighborhood, we have a neighborhood Facebook page. Anything going on, we just kind of post stuff in there. And over a year ago now, I had posted within that Facebook group that, hey, if anyone has any games they're wanting to get rid of, just let me know because I'd be interested in it. And a neighbor hit me up and had a bunch of great N64 stuff that he sold me. He had some complete in box games that are sitting on the shelf back there that you see in other videos and stuff that I've shown off. And he actually had some more stuff. He's like, hey, I found some more stuff. Do you want to just have them? I was like, sure, I'll take them off your hands. I already have a copy of Glover, and I do have an Atomic Purple controller already that I recently added. But this one's just in a little bit better condition, so nice little upgrade there. And then the official guide, I mean, that's awesome. I love collecting printed media, so that'll be going in the collection as well. So really cool for, his name is Chris, to hook me up again. And he actually has more stuff over in Alaska, but he lives here now. And anytime his mom has stuff, she like ships down to him. She could be shipping down games later on in the future. And then he's just going to hit me up and I'll be able to purchase those from him as well if there's anything I want. So really cool of him to hook me up there. So let's move on down to some other games. GameStop pickups right here. Of course, had to pick up Yu-Gi-Oh! The early days collection. I grew up loving Yu-Gi-Oh! I wasn't a big Pokemon card game player back in the day. I was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card player. I loved it. I had a Yada Lock deck that I just loved playing with until those cards got banned. But I would go to a local tournament almost every weekend at our local hobby shop and just kind of dominate with that deck. Since I was in high school, had some money to kind of buy some cards, I was just like crushing these little kids every weekend. But it was awesome. Love the show. Love the games. Actually, it kind of stinks because these are mainly all the handheld games. Because my favorite game, believe it or not, is Forbidden Memories on the PlayStation 1. So many great memories of that game. My best friend at the time, he had that game and would let me borrow it. And I just loved it. It doesn't really play anything like a true Yu-Gi-Oh game, but it was just awesome. I loved it. But Game Boy Advance games and stuff on here, I actually own at least 5 of these already on the Game Boy Advance, but it's cool to have it all in one collection. And I believe you can do some online play with that. So me and Alex returning Mother Base might be doing some battles in the future. We'll see. But while I was there at GameStop picking that up, they actually had a copy of the Sly Cooper collection on PS3 in, and they only sell it for like $30. So I think it's like a $40 game. So good savings on it. I've been wanting to add it to the collection, and I have a really cool story about the first Sly Cooper on PS2 that I will share in a future video because it's really awesome. But yeah, really stoked to add that to the collection. Then over here was my online order from East Starland, which actually had a pleasant surprise in it. If I adjust my hand real quick, grab the receipt for later to show you guys off. Crimson Sea, crazy enough, I just saw this in someone's video. I can't remember what I saw, but I had ordered it, and I was like, wow, they just had it in a video, and I had ordered it, so I was just waiting on it to get in. Game I've been wanting, complete in box from East Starland, they had it in, so had to jump on it. But the one I was really stoked about was this one, Phantasy Star Zero. Again, big Phantasy Star fan, and people say that this plays more like the original OG Phantasy Star. I really enjoy the Phantasy Star portable game, so I didn't know if they were going to be more along that sense, but even those kind of feel like old school Phantasy Star. The thing with this game, though, is if I show you the receipt here, You can see on here, it says Phantasy Star Zero, use no manual for 54.83. But to my surprise, when I open this up, guys, ugh, complete in box, even with the inserts behind it. So that was a pleasant surprise, because East Starland like ups their price if it's complete in box, if it's missing a manual. I mean, they adjust all the prices based on that. So really cool to snag the price for a complete in box. That's about what a complete in box copy goes for, but you know, stores kind of tend to upcharge a little bit. So it was really cool to open that up and actually see a manual inside. So can't wait to dive into this. Got to finish up some Monster Hunter Wilds. Really enjoying that game. And then kind of want to dabble in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yakuza Like a Dragon. That's coming up soon for me to play. So I don't know when I'll get to it, but really glad to have it. We'll slide back on over. And now we'll talk about this little pickup right here with the amiibos and this pretty cool like Zelda wall art. So the story behind this was a Facebook marketplace deal for 35 bucks online. And yeah, I was like, hey, I'd take this stuff because I like collecting amiibos, especially Zelda stuff. And I didn't really know it came with this like wall art until I picked it up. It wasn't a picture, but I didn't know it was like part of it. So really cool. And all these amiibos, out of all of them, there's only 2 doubles, and well, maybe 3 doubles. We already had the Link that we got out of that collection earlier in the year. And I already have like the Twilight Princess. I believe this is the same as the Twilight Princess one. So I already got this one complete in box up here on the shelf, if you guys can see that. So that's kind of an extra. And then I believe this Zelda is an extra. So other than that, everything else gets to stay in the collection. But yeah, I'll probably get rid of all those extras. So a lot of the Breath of the Wild ones, really cool to add to the amiibo collection for only 35 bucks. So a really good deal. Really cool amiibos. All right, so now the cards. What's the story behind this? I have family members who like renovate homes, sell them, like home flipping stuff. That's what they do. And sometimes there's items left over in the homes that they're renovating, so they clear things out. Sometimes if it's a foreclosure, just people tend to leave stuff behind sometimes. And in one house, there was like a box of cards, not just Pokemon cards. It has Magic the Gathering, which is why I got that back there. It had sports cards, all sorts of stuff in it. And I've told them before, if they ever find video games, let me know, because I'd like to get the games. That's how I got my first NES for my collection like 15 plus years ago now, because they found it in one of these homes and some games, so they just gave it to me. So of course they're family, so they hooked me up. All they asked is that I pay for like the shipping to get it over here, and the box was huge and heavy. There's too much stuff to fit on this couch, and I'm still going through it. But it costs like 30 something bucks to even get it shipped over here, because it's got a bunch of boxes like this in it, and this box had some Magic the Gathering stuff in it. And I thought this was really cool, because in this one, I think it's in this box, yeah, it had some like older ones in it. Now I don't think these are worth anything, but it's still really cool, like just to have stuff like that. And I was really into buying a lot of Magic cards back during like COVID, when that kind of started up. I was really loving collecting for it, getting the cards, getting some sets. I'd go get some of the Commander decks, so me and my son could play each other and kind of learn the game, because it's one that I've always wanted to learn and play regularly. But when you don't have a game store or anything near you where people play at, I mean, it's just kind of boring when it's just you and your son playing all the time. It's nice to have some more variety and stuff. So that's why playing online card games is where I kind of hover at these days. That's kind of nice to have that. But I digress. It's got a bunch of those like little white boxes in it and other things. And then it had some Pokemon in it, which you're seeing some of it right here, but this is not everything at all. This is just some that I've gone through already, and I'll kind of tell you my plan with like this stack over here. But if you guys kind of want to see a quick overview of the cards real quick, I'll change the camera where I have this kind of mounted so I can use 2 hands to show it off, and we'll get to the story behind what we're going to do with it. All right, so hopefully this stuff is coming up okay. I can't see what I'm doing. My camera's kind of blocked, but what we're going to do with these cards is hopefully turn them into video games, because I'm not a big Pokemon collector. You guys know from my last video, I really enjoy collecting Machamp. Like, I'll keep his stuff, and I'll probably keep this Charizard on the top. Again, this is all beat up to crap anyway, so I don't think it's really worth that much. Well, it's still like a $100 card, but still. That's one I'll probably keep just because it's the history of it. It's kind of like an iconic card. But then we're going to be keeping this beat up old Machamp, this break card of Machamp. That'll be in the collection. And then this other Machamp right here. I don't know what it's from, but I like to collect for Machamp. We keep Machamp stuff, so he's staying and going on the shelf. Or in the collection, at least. Everything else here, it's going to be going. We got base set Venusaurs and Mewtwo's here that are kind of beat up. I thought these were really cool. These are from like 2005 Championship Edition, like the World Championship cards. I thought those are really cool to be in there. So some of those. Just a mixture of like a bunch of stuff. These cards right here were are like worth a lot if you can get them in a 10. But you can see some of these are kind of beat up at the top and stuff, but still, if you can get those graded in a 10, that's money. But all these cards, the same with this like thing right here. Apparently, if you get one of these, this could be like a $100 card if it gets like a PSA 10 or something. But yeah, just a little bit of cards here. I thought this one was pretty neat, just the artwork on that one. So I don't know if there's anything crazy in any of the stacks right here, but really cool stuff there. And then I was watching Pete Dorr open some of these the other day, the Topps edition cards. So a bunch of Topps cards here as well. That one's falling out. Some Misty. So yeah. Now what I did from these that I went through is oops, sorry. And if you hear a piece of paper, it's because there's a piece of artwork on my camera stand here that my daughter made. So that's why you're hearing that. If you keep hearing that crinkle. These cards are what I saw. I keep hitting this, sorry. These cards are what I saw could be like the most bang for your buck if you actually get them graded and they get a PSA 10. So I'm actually going to try submitting these in and grading them through GameStop to see if I can get a PSA 10 grade. And I'll show you guys the ones that are going in, because even if all of these get 9, I'll make a profit off of just them scoring 9s. But if we get 10s, we can score pretty good profit to go into our game fund. So show you guys the cards here we're going to send in. And of course, it's a lot of stuff that people are hyped up for right now. So who knows when these get back, if the hype for these cards will even be there anymore for these cards. I was surprised this one, because this just looks like a holo, but again, you get a 10 on it. This one is probably the one that's would be worth the most if it gets a 10. This Zekrom card, and then an Octillery. So yeah, these will go in. So when they ever get back in a month or two, however long it takes, maybe I'll do a grade reveal if you guys want to see what they do. And yeah, I'll be trying to get rid of them to get some game funds, probably at the next convention we hold here locally. I'll just hold on to them until that show and see if anyone's interested in them then. But we'll see. Or there are some conventions coming up here in my area that maybe I can take them to and just trade them to vendors, because it seems like everyone wants Pokemon cards these days. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, now back to where I can actually hold this camera again and see it. So it's going to be interesting going through all these other boxes of cards, because there's just so many. With all my extra Magic cards I was getting from back in the day, I do have a TCG Player account that I'll probably list a bunch of the Magic and stuff cards on for doubles. That takes so long, and it's a very painstaking process. But it's something I'll do in time. I'm in no rush to do it. And it's just fun, like going through all these cards. Like this box, I already sorted out by set and kind of alphabetized this one. but I got so many more to go over. And yeah, and who knows? I could find more Pokemon. I don't know what else is in it. Like I said, there was sports stuff in it. Found some Michael Jordan cards. That was pretty cool. Some Kobe Bryant, since Kobe was my favorite player. But yeah, those are the pickups. So hopefully I didn't drag this out too long. A big mixture of everything. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of this Pokemon idea? Hopefully I can turn them into some video games. If there's any good ones in there you spotted that I don't know about, let me know. And yeah, that'll be it for this one. So I will see you guys in the next one.